Did you hear that now they're trying to smear Michael Jackson again, and they were like, he was worse than Epstein.
Oh my god!
Because the movie came out.
Whatever. But I heard the plot twist was Michael Jackson was really out there trying to save the kids.
No, that makes them, at least in my, like, that's why he had Neverland.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I want a place for kids to go. He might have just been, I'm going to be so real with you, might have been a little bit on the spectrum. It might have just been a little bit too much excitement. He might have freaked out the kids out. That's what I'm like.
No, he did. This is the thing. Okay. So Aaron Carter.
He scared me. Yeah,
whenever I was a kid, I used to be afraid of Thriller. It was bad. I was scared of Michael Jackson, period. So I was about maybe 7. But they said Aaron Carter went to Michael Jackson's house as like an old teenager, went and smoked some weed with him.
Oh yeah,
chill.
His mom is.
And then he comes home and there's an FBI agent at his house sitting down with his mom, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And his mom's like, "Tell him." He's like, "Tell him what?" She's like, "What Michael did to you?" And he's like, "Are you seriously trying to convince me to lie on Michael Jackson and make it seem like he did something to me when all we did was smoke a blunt together?" So when I say I don't even believe he freaked out the kids, they just, even in death, they want this man to be so guilty.
Well, the thing is now they're just trying to do damage control. My favorite story about Michael Jackson, though, was Eddie Murphy. When he was talking about it, he did Jerry Seinfeld had like a car show that he did where he'd bring people and drive cool cars around. So he did one with Obama. He did one with Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy was talking about, he's like, yeah, I remember I went over there. And he's like, is that Bubba's? Yeah, Eddie, don't go over there. He's crazy. It's like when Bubbles got older. When he got older, he was like real feral. And he's like, no, Eddie, don't touch him. And Eddie was like, I want to see Bubbles. And he's like, no, Eddie.
But so I've learned a lot of like things about Michael Jackson, especially since this movie is coming out, like that he whooped Tupac's ass. Have you ever heard that story?
Yeah. My favorite one though is I haven't heard that, but when I think it was the VMAs and Biggie was up there and Biggie went to shake his hand and he was like, "I'm black too, man," and he like dapped him up.
Yes, and that little like voice that he does.
Oh yeah, I've heard the
real Michael Jackson voice, but they said it was because he was always trying to protect his voice. And so whenever he first got into the game, he would talk normal.
Well, also I heard that his dad did do chemical castration on him.
Really?
Yeah, to keep his voice high pitched so he would sing in that register for all the time.
Chemical?
What?
Wow. Yeah. Because his voice is not super deep. I've heard the regular Michael Jackson
It's still
voice,
not what you...
But it's still not what you would think.
No, they said Michael come in the room like, "What up, my nigga?"
Yeah, like literally, he beat
George
up Tupac because Tupac was dating Quincy Jones' daughter for the longest. I think they were dating whenever he passed away, and he was at an event and he was going off on Quincy Jones' daughter, snatching her up, being rough. And Michael Jackson was like, "Hey, don't do that. That's like my niece." And Tupac got smart, and Michael Jackson whipped his ass.
So. Dr. Conrad Murray alleged in a 2016 book and subsequent videos that Joe Jackson subjected Michael to hormone injections at the age of 12 to treat acne and prevent his voice from deepening. Murray called Joe cruel and claimed this was done to maintain Michael's high-pitched voice. Source of the theory was also explored in a 2011 book, Michael Jackson, The Secret of a Voice, by French surgeon Alain something Baguette, who theorized that... Cryptorone, a drug that blocks male hormones, was used to halt puberty.
I can believe that.
So there's no direct evidence, but a lot of people in the industry were like, "No, I saw Joe Jackson."
Yeah. No, and I feel very, very bad for Michael Jackson because he had vitiligo really, really bad to the point of, if you look up the actual vitiligo that he had, he was damn near white. Like it was just splotches, and nobody has seen the real Michael Jackson and with his vitiligo because they're putting makeup on him, but he just literally, I guess, made his whole body white.
Yeah, so I looked it up. He used medication to even out his skin tone,
and it just made him just like. And
white. He addressed it in '93 on an interview with Oprah Winfrey.
And then I didn't know his brother Jermaine, who happens to have produced and made this movie, made a diss track about him. Yes, I've been down the rabbit hole. What that is Michael Jackson because obviously
the movie's coming out.
But
I think it's hilarious that the main actor who's playing Michael, it like what's his name's brother's cousins.
God.
Well, I heard he's Michael's nephew.
No. So Jermaine had a baby with Randy's wife. That baby is Jafar.
That's the
So
actor.
Jafar and Jermaine's, or not Jafar, but Randy and Jermaine's
their kids are brother cousins.
Brother cousins.
Oh my God.
You guys never knew that? That shit was so shiesty. Like, they wanted to get rid of, like, he stopped messing with, I don't even think they were married. I think they were just longtime boyfriend, girlfriend. She wanted more of a commitment because they had a child together, a couple kids. And Jermaine swooped in and.
But the kid is not their son?
Please don't piss me off. And it's very shiesty, but trying to say that Michael Jackson was worse than Epstein is insane. A lot of paying off and, just silencing things because the rumor was already put out there was done, and I wish that he wouldn't have done it, but I understand why he did it,
So Mr. Fresh has on Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, and right now, if you're following the NFL, it's draft season. The draft started last night. So I just want to get W's in the chat from everybody for George's brother, who's currently up in the draft right now.
Yes, sir. He sure is.
I don't know. I'm hearing projected 4th round, now maybe potentially projected late 3rd round. I don't know. George, how's Junior doing, first of all? Because I know he's back in town. And what is this experience like for you guys?
He's doing better than I'm doing right now, trying to figure out. I don't get this, Austin. Our internet, I get it's not great. We need to fix
Verizon.
it. We do need to fix this. This is the first time. Or it just keeps being bad for the people. They can hear us perfectly, and so now we're like a radio show, which
coming to you live.
97.5. All right, anyways.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. What's up with the Cox? Maybe we can recommend that because my house internet is better.
So the problem with that is that's not a me decision. Yeah, unfortunately.
Right. Just gently recommend it.
Oh, well, no, we have. We have. There's just other things going on in that person's life that take priority.
We are the only show that live streams.
That is true. We're the only people who go. Well, Brandon used to. Brandon from Vegas used to. Now they don't, and I think it's just because I'm not involved with that show as much anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, so sorry, people, for the whole video thing. We will. I have these saved on the StreamYard, so like I'm gonna remove the banner here now. I'm gonna toss up our.
And then we'll just re-upload it again.
Well, I'm still gonna. We're not frozen.
We're buffering a lot. That's the only problem.
It's in and out. So, brother, NFL draft, it's happening.
And we're talking about NFL draft. Somebody in the chat said not the war draft.
I told that to another person. I said it's my brother's draft party, and they were like,
"The draft's on."
Oh no! And I was like,
"Oh, have you guys seen the draft in Thailand?"
No.
Oh my gosh! Where they're like dragging the kids, like they don't want to. It's like it's like Hunger Games.
No, so shout out to Yasmin. This is Verizon. It's interesting here in Las Vegas. So what happens is, whenever you're over 21 years old,
ADHD is ADHD. Y'all be talking about me.
We're talking about the drafts.
You talked about
luckily, his brother's not in the draft down in Thailand because you pick a red. If you pick red, then you go. Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
It's either red or black. One of them means
literally just out of a hat.
And they probably change it daily. They're probably like, all right, today it's black. And you're like, damn it, I drew black yesterday.
And those poor
they always
kids
know the same color because when they pulled out one certain color, they be passing out. Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you gotta think about it.
It's Thailand.
A lot of lady boys.
So it's a lot of people that
yeah.
Well, my grandpa. The only grandpa I still have alive, unfortunately, at this point, he was telling me he had to go. He was selected for the draft 2 different times, and he got out. He wasn't like he was like I was ready to go, but the first time he was in college, so they gave him a pass. This is the Vietnam War, and the second time he had a family, and he was the sole provider. So they were like, well, we can't take away the sole provider.
No, my dad.
But he said when he went to MEPS, which is like medical screening for the military, he said that dudes were like humping the doctor's face.
What? Trying to make it seem like they were crazy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, and we're not talking like with clothes on. We're talking like pants were down. The doctor's checking you remember turn your head and cough?
Yes.
When doctors go, hey, turn your head and cough.
Hey, that's actually pretty genius.
They just started on this doctor. And they were like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, that's actually,
that's probably what Trump did.
That's actually genius. If you don't want to go to war and they're gonna make you, My stepdad who raised me, he got drafted and he went, and he said he see some shit out there. It was wild.
Yeah, my uncle got drafted and he was MIA for 2 weeks.
Damn.
But the truth was this unit got ambushed. He got knocked out during the ambush. The U.S. found him, but he'd lost his dog tags. So he was actually in a field hospital the whole time, but they didn't know who he was.
Okay.
I mean, they could ask him, like, what's your name? But then, like, the thing went out to his parents, and they had just lost another. I had a great uncle I never got to meet because he died when he was 6, but that was like a year before. Damn. So they lose one child at 7 years old, and then they now presume they have another one missing.
Right. I would have been losing my shit.
And then he called on Christmas because the chaplain was like, "Well, do you want to like call home or something? It's Christmas." He called, and my grandma said that her mom passed out as soon as she heard his voice on the phone, just fainted.
Yeah, because you think your kid is dead, but really he just got knocked between the field and the
So back to the story at hand, though, George. How is it looking for Junior?
It might be because these cameras are in 4K right now.
Are they?
Yeah, we're pretty fucking clear.
Because you switch, right?
I don't switch them.
You don't?
No.
Okay. I'm going to do a check.
Okay.
While we're doing this. How are we looking?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What did you tell me this
sick.
morning why it looks good?
Oh, lots of fat people, for common terms, are getting drafted. My brother's fat, so he's more likely to be drafted. I mean, I want to keep it as simple as possible. If I start throwing in positions, people will they're gone.
Yeah. He's
So
big boy.
fat
Big boys
people
are going
go.
up, which means he's going up in the pecking order of big boys.
There was a lot of offensive linemen that went, but not a lot of defensive linemen that went. I mean, there was a lot of edges.
We got one. The Chargers drafted a linebacker, an edge rusher, I think.
Yeah, I seen like linebackers, but I didn't see like no D tackles or like nose guards or nothing.
Again, if you start naming them, because I'm over here now, like, what the hell is? Listen, shout out to.
I'm so happy that everything is going good for him because my team dropped the ball.
Listen, him going and being drafted, and he just started playing football in his junior year of high school gives me hope.
Not even his offense. I was going to say George's brother didn't even play defense until he got to college.
Yeah, it gives me hope.
He didn't play lineman until he got to college.
It gives me hope for my son because he was not able to play last year, and he'll be a junior next year, and he's a big boy. He's
right. So
big.
He played in the 9th grade, but obviously when you walking on as a freshman, like your exposure is kind of limited. Plus his coach sucked ass. Like you know what I mean?
He went to Western. So.
Yeah,
but
George, how bad did we beat Western senior year?
Really bad, brother.
They called it halftime because it started raining.
Yeah.
No, but the irony is the coach from the school he's at now went to Western and brought the squad with him, right? So everybody like, oh yeah, we about to turn it around. Like we got a good coach from a good school. Man, he was ass cheeks. Like this is my thing.
What school is he at now?
Well, I don't want to say it on air, but
okay.
It's one of the best football schools.
It's one of them up there.
It's right below Bishop Gorman, right above Shadow Ridge. Yeah.
Does it start with a D?
A. But I'm gonna.
And that's up north.
Yeah.
Our health teacher in 8th grade was the wrestling coach there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Mr. Tommaso.
a very.
I don't think he's there anymore.
It's really like it gives me hope because he's a big. My son is a fat big boy. He's 6'3", probably every bit of 350 pounds.
I still need to get you guys in contact. Well, like I know he did a little bit, but the head coach was my offensive coordinator. Coach Norris and I are
at their school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I would love that because at the end of the day, he always says like I'm late in the game, and I'm like he wants to go to LSU.
Antonio Gates is in the Hall of Fame, and he didn't play football until he got drafted.
Man, I be trying to tell
the Chargers.
He be bringing up all the excuses though. Like, listen, we bought him $150 pair of cleats last year because he was supposed to play last year, or he was supposed to play this year. He wasn't able to play this year because they sidelined him for eligibility.
Right, I remember that.
You know what I mean? Basically made it seem.
So, and he's a sophomore?
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
Hey, how long did Junior play for?
He got screwed. There's lots of things happening right now. He'll be good to go this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
and I'm telling you, he better hit the ground running.
Well, he's already got his summer plan. He's going to football.
I just keep telling him to talk to your coach because he told me when football starts, he's going to miss a couple of days because we'll be in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him like talk to the coach now and get that excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or just let him know, hey, I'm not dropping.
Right.
I'm just going to be gone for a couple days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do that with wrestling. I remember I think freshman year, I went on a cruise
I don't have his number.
in October, and that's like intramurals or so. That's like when we really get going. Yeah.
And I feel bad because it's always like literally we take our kids on a vacation every year, and it's always interfering with football, whatever the case is.
You know why? Because it's cheaper than in the summer.
Yeah.
So, shout out to my kid. I think he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
do
start
great
taking
things.
cruises and vacations in the wintertime.
Fuck it.
I need some of them cheap ones.
Yeah.
Because our trip wasn't cheap.
Vanessa changed her tune. All of a sudden, she wants to go on a cruise now. So now we're looking.
Shout out.
And so and it wasn't as bad as I remember it being. Like for the four of us, for like a 7 to 10 day, it's like $4,500.
Yeah,
and
that's
this is
not
Disney.
That's
yeah.
not bad at
Yeah,
all.
Yeah, and I was like, that's because I
That's
remember
a steal.
when I went with my family, they were always telling me it's like $1,000 a person when we would go.
Yeah.
I want to do a Disney cruise.
That's all I've ever done. They're great. You ain't got to worry about plumbing issues. That's one thing is like Disney weeds that shit out. They don't have none of those problems.
I heard you get free room service on Disney.
Oh, I've never tried that. I mean, like it's like I don't know if every other cruise is the same way, but like all the food is free. You just walk up and they have like open restaurants. You just walk in.
Listen, obviously when you on Disney, it's different. But when you on other cruise lines, you know, when you get back to your room after you left the club, you drinking. You know, you might want some fried chicken or something. You know,
At like 11.
Boy, they don't serve no fried chicken.
all right,
Chicken
buffalo
strips.
chicken. I get buffalo chicken.
Yeah.
We'll usually get buffalo chicken, order like a little pizza or something. And she'll get a Philly.
I will say the only time I've ever been drunk, and I was talking about this on Sunday with Danette, because she still isn't old enough to drink. It was when I worked at 2K. They had a company party, and there was an open bar.
Damn.
And so
Lit.
and we had a DD. My mom was gonna come like pick us up, and I was like,
so you was turned.
And so Vanessa was like, well, I'm pumping and dumping, because this is when Rome was still little. She's like, I'm pumping and dumping. So she's like, I'm gonna drink too. And we went, and I started with a Jack and Coke, nothing crazy. And then I was like, I want something sweet. I don't remember. I think it was Sex on the Beach with Malibu is what he gave me. But I was so gone, I just started calling it Malibu Yum Yums.
Malibu Yum Yums.
I had
is
like
crazy.
4 or 5, and then I asked for another one. And mind you, I tipped this dude like $40 at the start because it was open bar. Tipped him 40.
Oh yeah, so he was pouring all liquor.
No, I mean, I was like, I want it to taste good, and he was like, okay. And then so like I get like 3 or 4 of them, and I come back like later, and he starts giving me smaller glasses, and I was like, this motherfucker's trying to cut me off. I as a sober person, totally get it. Me in the moment, I was pissed. I was like, who the fuck is this guy cutting me off?
Give me my tip back.
But the point of the story though is to go back to your point on the cruise. We got In-N-Out afterwards. Best In-N-Out I've ever had while I was so drunk.
Yeah.
Tremendous In-N-Out.
Drunk food is amazing.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get drunk again because I don't. You know, I always have to drive myself. But if I do, I would get Roberto's this time.
They said it is true about the free room service on Disney.
Yeah, I'm
we
just trying to go
thought
for the
about it.
experience just because I want my kid. Like, we never participate in none of that stuff on our cruises. You know what I mean? Like on Carnival, they usually got like the what the thing, 1 thing 2, like Dr. Seuss breakfasts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we don't never do it.
Do you guys have formal nights on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's always fun, but it never lasts. I go put my ghetto clothes back on after I take my picture.
Yeah.
Take your picture.
Yeah.
don't
My
have to
kids, they
show
get
formal.
irritated too. They're like, or they take their ties off, and you know.
Yep.
Last year when we took our cruise though, we just got ghetto. Like my kids, we just wore polos. We wasn't doing all that fancy stuff.
And we just wore
Because
matching
sometimes
dresses.
it's a lot that goes into it. Like the year before, like we all had on matching tennis shoes. Like we all had on,
Y'all had that heat for cheap.
No, like if I show you the picture, even my little cousin, she came with us, and so we wore like emerald green.
Oh.
And I had like an emerald green smoke coat.
Beautiful.
Kai. How do you spell Kai? Is it just
KHY
K-H-Y?
REN.
Kyron. Perfect.
I mean, you know my last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally hook it up because he has so much potential. He's
Boom.
actually
Coach
see.
Norris. Sam Norris.
Period. I never knew
God.
that you were like you knew him. I could have been.
he's
that.
offensive.
I feel like we had mentioned this, and I had held off because I understand the eligibility thing. Like when you have like that year that you get a transfer penalty, and so I just texting him like, "Hey, this kid, I want him on your radar."
It's a blessing, and it's shitty.
If he went from AV to Western, they'd probably let him play.
Oh, for sure. They don't care about that. But
yeah, it's Western. They're like, we'll take anybody we can.
Right. Arbor made a state run last year. So
so it's just
they're going to be selective. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I get why they did it, because a lot of people do just use that address because it is, if you can get on the team and you can play, you get a lot of exposure from colleges. He wants to go to LSU.
LSU.
So
okay.
We're trying to get him there. We're trying to get him on like a scholarship.
Now,
so
how
I'm
about
you
like a
play.
good old like CSN?
I'm like, what happened to
I'm not opposed to a last chance university.
No, I'm like,
send him to a JUCO right off the
college.
I tease him. I tell him you're gonna go to ATSU if you're gonna get them grades up, and he's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Across the street university."
Quit
University. Put the fries in the bag, homie.
Right. That's whenever I was going. It was real bad when I was in high school. This was my high school. Across the street was a community college, so the teachers would be like, "You're gonna go to ATSU if you don't get your shit together." And it was just like,
and nowadays, now people are like, "Bro, go to community college."
But that was cheaper. That was not a flex back then. You're like, "Oh my god,
I want to go to LSU. I want to go to NYU. I want to go to UNLV." Even UNLV was like,
and we were in my high school was in the middle of the hood. Like I grew up in South Sac, Iraq. It was a lot, but once I got accepted to all these colleges, I was like, thank God. But you guys think about it, like my friends, one of them got a full ride to Brown. Another one went to Princeton. Like they was trying to get out the hood. So to hear across the street university, we're like, hell no.
I would never go there. But it's just crazy though, because, you know, college was this big thing for all this time. And now you got people who are like, sitting down, looking at it in hindsight, like I could have got a diploma, I could have got a degree, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah, that's not a big deal to me anymore.
Well, that's like me right now. Like I'm settling for an associate's because at this point, it's student loans are crazy.
But my thing is,
and I don't need the degree for what I do. Not a single client has asked me what my degree is, and if I even have a degree.
Yeah, I regret. I feel like my family put pressure on me to go to college because it wasn't a thing. Only one person in my whole family has gone to college and finished. And it just, if I can go back, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I have student loans. For what?
When you're trying to build generational wealth and you're already like
behind,
$40,000 in the hole.
It's not even like these people that were like pressuring me to go get my
scholarship.
My grandpa,
Millennium,
who was a dean at UNLV when I was like probably 10 years before I was born. He prepaid my tuition. So my 4 years of college in 1998 was $12,000.
But they honored it as they didn't prorate it.
That's how prepaid tuition works.
Yeah, God bless them.
Prepaid tuition these days it's like 45.
That's about what I what I owe currently.
So you got to think of it. Yeah,
so you could prepay.
You can prepay somebody's college. Yes, and
but
this is why
it's like I there's probably payment plans. There definitely is, but like I'm assuming it's like big chunks. It's not.
It's like it's going to be $30,000 you can pay in, and we'll do it in 3 years, but you got to pay like $2,000 a month.
But this is the thing. That's cool, right? That's okay if you do that. But you got to think about where I was coming from. Y'all, everybody around me poor. Y'all want me to take out these damn student loans to impress y'all, so y'all can say that I got a degree.
Right.
It was stupid.
Yeah,
it was dumb.
And mine is the worst. Like I'm getting a fucking film degree. That doesn't mean anything. That's going to take me to ATSU.
Yeah.
CSM won't even honor it.
Even when you add it, when you add it up, right? Like I was going to nursing school. I was going to school to be a registered nurse,
right?
To get my BSN.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, for the last 5 years, I've made way more than what I would have made as a nurse, and I never graduated. So it's like.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And then I went to school for nursing, and the experience was beautiful because I went to HBCU. So I was 3,000 miles away from home, throwing ass on Thirsty Thursdays and on trees. Yeah, we used to be twerking on the damn trees. I was being a college student. That portion is something that I would love for my kids to experience.
It's the independence that you gain from
Yes.
going to school. Like
Yeah.
that is invaluable.
I was going
but
for
you could also
nursing.
just send them to the military too.
No, but it
Fucking
didn't.
pay-
Send
they get
them. Send them.
They get a
Oh no,
Camaro and
nope.
the stripper at the strip club says they love them. And
Literally, I'm giving my kids the room to be whatever they want to be because I went for nursing, and while I could have been a wonderful nurse, I was a badass graphic designer, and that's what I should have been going to school for. But because that wasn't a real major, they were just like, no, that's not acceptable. Like you're an honor
now
roll
the
student.
ones that get me are the people that are going and getting $60,000 worth of debt, and they're getting like, and not to say that I don't agree with it, but like the gender studies degree, like unless you're gonna go be a professor, which then you need a PhD, which now you're even more like
No, seriously,
like,
that's why I haven't
what's
went
the challenge?
back.
My degree is worthless. I'm telling you, my degree is worthless.
Say
I got
it
a
one more time.
$6,000 camera out of it. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
Did you say gender studies?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
And you know what? I
crazy.
get it
Gender
because
studies.
I want to go back and get my bachelor's just to appease like my mom and my grandma, and I was gonna go for folklore and African American
frozen
studies,
again?
but I'm just like,
it's going in and out.
I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be a professor because that's the only thing that
When I was
could
so
do.
here was my tract. When I was gonna go to UNLV, I auditioned for the jazz ensemble. I'd gotten into the jazz ensemble 1, which is like the top one. I was like, okay, cool. My goal was I'm gonna go to college and get my PhD and then be a jazz studies professor.
Okay, yeah, and see, I'm not interested
dope.
in being a
Now,
professor.
because now all those guys still perform, so they're still playing. Like the main professor at UNLV for jazz is he did the piano on Pocahontas, the Disney film. He does stuff like I think he did the piano for the Family Guy soundtrack. He did stuff
And they
on
be
Ted.
doing other stuff too. Like
Yeah, they
I
get
know,
pretty big
I know
jobs.
one of the teachers at UNLV right now.
He does the orchestra,
He does the
hip-hop
orchestra, the hip hop orchestra. We just
Yeah, and then
went to.
the assistant professor for jazz studies is Celine Dion's trombone player.
right?
Yeah.
And they
So, like,
all
yeah.
They all work
get
in the same
into
circles.
yes, they get good work, and they still are professors. But that's why I didn't go back and get my degree. I thought about it last year.
I think
because I'm like,
I think you absolutely need a degree, and I'm gonna say some jobs sure require it, but I think if you're gonna go to be a lawyer or in the medical field,
Yeah.
then it's absolutely worth it because then you can make stupid money. Like some lawyers on PI cases will make like I've had clients who have made $800,000 in one case.
Yeah.
One personal injury
listen,
case.
if my kid comes to me and say, you know what, I want to be a plumber. Okay, I'm paying for
Trade
plumbing school.
Send them to
Yeah.
trade
You know,
school. They'll
you want to
make
be an
so much more money.
esthetician.
Listen, I'm a trade baby. It's
Yeah.
nothing wrong.
I love
It's
it.
Nothing
I
wrong.
worked in the trades. It's
You know, because people always look down on that type of college. They be like, "Oh, that shit is like ID." What was
Yeah, listen.
IDs?
ITT
I
Tech.
grew-
ITT Tech, ICDC
Yeah, they-
college. Like at the end of the day, if you are getting your license in something, because these are the same people that you go to for your services, estheticians, nail techs, cosmetologists. I don't care if my kids say, you know what, Mom, I want to be a purple fucking crayon because I see Tootie doing it. I'm like, you know what? I'll pay for your box, your Crayola box.
Hey,
I'm gonna
that's the most
support
popular
it.
one with the Marines.
Yeah, man. Listen.
Hey, listen. My mom was an electrician my whole life growing up.
Yeah, oh, they make
Man,
stupid money sometimes.
My aunt gets paid $50 an hour to plug extension cords in at the fucking convention center to run extension cords. $50 an hour. I'll never shit on somebody with a trade.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's always tangible. Like, you know what I mean? Man.
My thing is like, and this is what I wish I would have, but it took me a while, and George was there for that journey. It took me a while to figure out like what I was actually like good at, but I would argue like if you have the skill set and you're going, do I go to college or do I start a business? Always just start a business.
Yeah.
Always just start the business.
Yeah.
It
what?
took me to 26 to start my business.
Always.
And it's been life changing.
And it's just crazy because people don't know content creators and YouTubers, we're entrepreneurs for real, you know? A lot of the things that what the hell? I'll just break through my do not disturb. But either way, we're entrepreneurs and we run it as such. And then it just kind of ventures off and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah,
it's dope.
Franny said trade daddy over here. Change my yeah,
I'll be right back, y'all.
Franny did the damn thing.
I definitely wish I had like trade characteristics. I struggle with like I like it now, but like growing up, I was never a person that was. This also is like I come from a family that hires everybody to do everything, and didn't like ever like fixing cars.
Yeah.
Not in my realm, bro.
No, I feel it.
Austin fixes his car, and I make fun of him for it. I'm like, Austin.
There was one time I fucked up. There's one time George had to pick me up on the way to Sticky Point. He had to pick me up at a gas station because I had to change out the spark plugs on my Jeep. Well, you have to remove the fuel line to get to the spark plugs. You have to unplug the fuel line.
And you lost the clamp?
No. I think the part broke when I was putting it back on. So my fuel clamp just came off and I just... And I'm sitting there and I was on my way to go pick up Trey, who was our editor at the time, and he lived in Alianza. And I was like, hey, George, I'm going to need you to come pick me up. And they came and towed my car. And then I get a call from the repair guy. He's like, yeah, somebody been messing around in here. I'm like, lower your goddamn fucking voice. I was like, no, nobody's been in there. And he's like, yeah, the fuel line just wasn't fully secure, but the clip broke. But we just went ahead and replaced it, and you just come pick up your car now. And I was like, okay, cool. How much? He was like, nothing. I think he knew and he felt bad for me.
Dude.
But that's the only time. That's the only time
I missed the most important detail about what that meant. It meant that the fuel was going everywhere. So he lifted up the hood, and then fuel was like fucking. Yeah. I was like, Austin, this is why you don't fix your own car. There's people that understand cars.
That's the only time it's fucked up for me. Every other time I've been able to, I've changed on the white truck. I don't know if you guys remember the white truck with the charger sticker on the back? I've changed the radiator on that.
Stick to the computer, buddy.
I've done brakes all the time. We've done fuel pumps on that. We've done
power. There's some people that get it, some people that don't. Listen,
now if you're gonna be like, hey, Austin, help me change this fucking transmission, I'm like, you could suck my. I'm not changing them.
I'll Mr. Follow instructions. I'll watch a YouTube video. Me be too. Like, okay, all right, I could change this light bulb. I could change the headlight, but I'm not going farther than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's so expensive though to get stuff work. Like that's why I buy the extended warranty on my car, because like the alternator, it took me 30 minutes to get the battery out. You know why? Because the battery on the fucking Ford doesn't just come straight out. You have to take the front end off, and then it slides out the front. Who the fuck designs this, Ford?
Bro, hey, you got to think. We spent $1,400 to fix the Infinity, and then traded it in a month later. Think about that.
We didn't know it was a transmission.
We put 2 brand new tires on it and traded it in.
Well, that's why I traded in my Jeep. That's when I got the settlement. I was like, oh, I went and got a transmission flush, which they recommend you do, and then all of a sudden my transmission started slipping. And what I learned is that with the grime that's in there, sometimes it's what's helping you keep tension on your. So then you flush it, and none of those particles are there, and your transmission's like. So, and then I was like, well, we're gonna trade this in, and I told Carvana that it was in great shape, and they bought it.
That's crazy. And
gave me the Bronco. They can afford to fix it. They'll figure it out.
No, and then you know what happened was they never. I love Carvana. I think they dropped the ball on this. They never told me that. Originally, I was under the impression they were going to do my registration for me. Never did, so it was a month late. And then they never told the DMV that I sold the car. So then all of a sudden, I get a toll thing in the mail from San Francisco, and somebody ran the fucking toll thing in my Jeep. They'd already sold it. They had already sold the car a week after I sold it to them.
They put that shit in rotation, bro. Put that, hey,
$2,000.
Get it to that vending machine now.
$2,000.
They're gonna put the big coin in that vending machine. It's about to drop the car.
You know, it was kind of cool doing the vending machine thing.
I would imagine.
They give you a big ass coin. You fucking thunk, and then you pull the handle, and then it does, because we're in Vegas. So it's like a slot machine. And I'm like, I know what car I'm getting. It's not a
random.
Yeah, I was like,
Can you imagine the Lamborghini
or like a BMW comes down, and I'm like, yo, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean. It's always blown my mind. You know, like how the world went from no cars to then everybody had a car?
Yeah.
And now there's so many cars. I mean, we drive past lots filled with cars, yet cars are so expensive still. You know, like I wish it would have like dropped in value. Like we could just have cars like bumper cars. We could have lots of cars.
You're thinking GTA Online.
Yes. I want like a 10-car garage because it's like affordable. And
I have this one for Monday. I have this one for Tuesday. I have this one for Wednesday.
Accidents fucked things up.
They do.
Accidents ruined.
And the hyper independence of the American people has also fucked it up.
The hyper dependence?
Independence. Where we're like, I'm going to drive myself. Fuck Uber. I'm not going to take the bus. That's for poor people. Like, okay. Yeah. Like I have a friend who moved here from Philly. The friend who watches the show, and she takes the bus everywhere because in Philly, like there's actual like public transit that's taken care of and shit. And here we're like,
the public
we got the
transit
RTC
in
bus.
Vegas
You
is-
might get stabbed on it.
And it's minimum, bro, it's minimum 2 hours to get across the city.
Yeah.
And the city is not that big.
No, with no traffic, you can, like, if you're traveling at like 2 a.m. here and there's nobody out, you can get from North Vegas to Henderson in like 25, 30 minutes max.
Yes.
Yeah.
Max.
On the bus, forget about it.
On the bus, it's going to take about 8 business days.
I used to drive the bus out here, so I already know.
Yeah, Mr. Fresh said
Mr.
that. Let me
Fresh
tell you
said,
something. How bad, so you grew up in Pittsburgh. I'm assuming
please
they have
tell
a
us
good
some
public
bus
transit.
stories. Yes.
Yeah, we
How
had
shitty is it here compared to Pittsburgh? Public
I feel
transit
like-
was.
I feel like Pittsburgh is different because we have busways. So
Busways.
Yeah.
Is it like how near the outlet mall, there's like that dedicated middle lane for the bus?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Like
so
in Pittsburgh, we well, on my side of town, on the east side, we got a bus lane that goes all the way from Edgewood all the way down into downtown. So you could get a connecting bus, get off at one of them stops, get on that busway, and go straight downtown.
So it was just direct.
Yes, it's direct. It's like maybe 6 stops. Like it stops in like every major neighborhood.
Right. Okay. That's
But-
not that many.
Speaking of busways, what about the lead mess case?
Hold on, before we do that,
yeah.
because I feel like this has to be addressed. Have y'all been keeping up with the DV4D case?
I saw that he got convicted.
No, not convicted. He got arrested.
Well,
Okay.
that's convicted.
No.
That's what the article I read was convicted. Well,
but he has to go to-
convicted is when they find you guilty.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's been charged. He's been charged. He hasn't been convicted yet.
So, okay.
Because they
Don't
found
burn me at the stake, y'all.
they found his DNA on her, right?
No, she was in his trunk. So,
Well, yeah. She was in the but like also on top of that.
yeah, it's let me just
Yeah,
go back
fill us
some.
in because this we remember we covered this ad nauseum a few months ago.
I did a reading on this with Trinity Oracle. Shout out to them, months ago, and I truly don't. I'm not a DV4D whatever David Burke fan.
I have one of his songs in my Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, I know it now. I didn't know that was him.
I know I had him like 2 years ago, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, doesn't?" Oh.
Yeah, I had no idea. I
Still
just
a
knew one of the real popular TikTok sounds that kind of went viral.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that he is going to be put on trial for a murder that he facilitated, allowed, knew who did it, but he didn't do it himself.
So he's guilty of association, and he's basically an accessory to murder,
Listen,
but he's not the
I hope
murderer.
they make his ass the perfect example because that little girl trusted him. He trafficked her all throughout the United States and God nowhere else. And I felt like he knows exactly who did this because you got to think about it. Why did it take so long for them to arrest him? I mean, if I do something illegal right now, they're going to come get me and they know where I'm at. Even if they suspect it, there was a lot of evidence that was put in, like, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you unalive a child? Because everybody's like, oh, a young woman. No. She was a child. And then put her in your car. It just doesn't make sense. None of it does. But I believe that he knows who did that. And why do they keep doing this? Excuse me. I'm sorry. This is Maddie.
All I remember is everybody was like, "Who's in the trunk?" And then they found out who it was, and then they were like, "Who?" It was the Tesla, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Whose Tesla is that?" And then they found out, and they were like, "But he was like out of the country, right?"
Right. He was
Or
on
he's like
tour or
he's
something.
like on tour, actively
Yeah.
on tour.
This is my thing. If you're gonna hide a body, you don't hide a body in your own trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, go get a Turo or something and put it in there.
Right.
Speaking of Turo, I saw a reel and somebody was like, "Yeah, I took my car in, and it needed a new engine, and the mechanic was like, oh, why don't you go rent the same car and we just swap out the engines?" That's some fuck shit. Could you imagine? George, George is the rental guy. He owns this Ford Bronco. My Bronco's fucked up. I take it to Mr. Fresh. Mr. Fresh is like, yo, why don't you go rent another Ford Bronco and we swap the engines?
I've heard of people doing stuff like that though. Like if they need new tires, renting a car, that same car, and having them swap out the tire. Hey, I need you to pull these tires off of here and put them on here. Flip flop real quick.
Damn. And you get your shit back. You're like,
hold on. That's a devious lick right there.
Yeah.
That's a devious
The
lick.
fucked up ones, and this happened to my friend, and I felt so, like, I didn't even have a car yet, and I was gutted for him. He had a really nice GMC truck. It was older, but it was nice. Stolen. We find it a day later. All it is just sitting on some fucking bricks, and it's just gutted. And I was like, oh my, like, what do you do? I would John Wick that entire neighborhood if I found out who did it.
Yo.
Be like, everybody's getting it until you tell me who did it.
It depends. Sometimes it's for your benefit. You know what I mean? I had a car that was stolen in Phoenix, and when they stole it, I never got it back. It was like a little Chrysler, and it had like some 22s on it.
300?
No, it was a
Pacifica?
No,
not the Pacifica.
It was
what's the one with the convertible? What's the convertible one?
It was a car that had a round back. I forgot what
That's
it was.
like every Chrysler.
I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
Huh.
But I know it had 22s on it, TVs. They stole it.
Oh.
You know, fortunately for me, I had insurance. And so I ended up getting like $5,000 from the insurance company.
Bookie, we've been going live in the mornings now for about 2 months now.
Yeah.
So this is kind of our normal time now. We're finding it's a little easier on us, and then you guys are still able to tune in. It's easier on our East Coast people too. Yeah, we'll wait for Noah to get back, and then we'll dive into this lead masks case, and then we do have a kind of a tight ending today. So if you want us to hear your story, go ahead and send us an email at callsfrombeyond@gmail.com. And tell us your stories there, because then we'll start reading them on the show. Once we start getting them, the thing is, like, we're always ready to do it. We just never get them.
Yeah. Hey, Franny.
Oh, what are you saying?
I've done that. Listen.
Oh my guys. Okay, so Freddie said, I've seen buses just skip past stops with people there waiting.
So
let's go. Yes, back to the bus story. This is fucking
Mr. Fresh.
So understand,
why did you do that?
It's somebody, because I have a CDL. Not only do I drive buses, but I'm a bus driving instructor. So
you be teaching people how to mob and they shit. Just,
yeah. But
you pull the e-brake, you can drift it too, just like a car. So why do you skip stops if there's people sitting there waiting?
All right, so you got to understand, this is Vegas, right? So we have
HD.
Well, we're trying to kill time, waiting for you so we can get on topic.
No, I got ADHD. I'm like, wait, what we talking about? Buses?
No,
we were talking about that
Franny
before.
said something in the comment.
Franny said, I've seen buses just skip past stops with people there waiting.
Oh, yeah.
So why did y'all do this?
So you got to understand, it's a lot of homeless population out here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that get, like...
Don't be dressing raggedy, motherfucker. Stop, bro.
Listen, no, you have the riders where once it's cold outside, you'll have somebody get on at the first stop and they'll ride to the end of the line.
Just to stay
and then
warm.
they'll wait at the bus stop to get back on the ride to the end of the line again, like just so they can keep that warmth. You know what I mean? They have nowhere else to go, so they'll like ride. But some of them be tart.
Tart.
No. Hey, listen.
Wait, I thought that whenever they ride past people at the bus, it's because they're out of service, not because they stink.
Sometimes we do be out of service. But when you're out of service,
flip that sign on real quick. You say,
it's like when cops get to a stoplight and they're like, whoop. All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But when you're driving buses, there's the money lane. The money lane is the right lane. You're always supposed to drive in the money lane whenever you're in service. When you're out of service, you're supposed to drive in either in the middle lane. You're supposed to drive in the opposite lane so people could know, like, all right, he's not stopping.
He's not stopping.
You know what I mean? But you could also, if I'm running hot or if I'm running cold, like for instance, running hot, like you got time points. You got to be at certain places at certain time
I thought you were gonna say like you had to go to the bathroom and you're just like,
no,
fuck
no, it wasn't nothing crazy like that. But if there's a bus on my ass and I'm already late, then I'm gonna wave you towards that bus and tell you like get on that one, and I'm gonna skip past this stop unless somebody needs to stop there.
Damn, Mr. Fresh, I'm late to work. I'm here at my normal time. You're late.
Right.
Hey, listen.
Did you hold on? Honestly, did you ever feel bad, or were you like, fuck these people, bro?
Sometimes it's out of your control because you got to understand, you got to pick up 88 passengers, and sometimes you got to secure their wheelchair. You got to wait. you got people that'll walk their wheelchair to the damn bus, and then you still got to secure their wheelchair, even though they walked it on.
Oh no!
Like people using them as walkers, like they'll push that shit on themselves.
Did you ever get to kick somebody off the bus?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Like it was
for sure. But this is what you do. You make the passengers
kick them
be
off.
the bad guy.
Oh,
I pull that bitch over, open up both of them doors, and be like, "Hey, until he get off this bus, we ain't moving."
Somebody will grab him, toss him. Somebody will toss that motherfucker off the bus.
Damn, Bus
Goddamn.
Chronicles.
Hey,
Royal Rumble. It's a Royal Rumble.
No, I used to come home and be tired as hell. I'm like, you just drive. No, you got to put them wheelchairs in. You got to deal with crazy people.
Up and down. And some people, the people with the wheelchairs, they'll get on for 2 fucking stops, bro.
Oh,
so I got to strap in all 4 wheels.
For 2 stops.
Open up the ramp, let down the ramp, nail the bus, all of that.
Bro, for 2 stops, just roll.
Stops.
Yeah.
Maybe their battery was dying.
Yeah, that could be it.
Did you ever like? I'm sure you had a lot of creative ideas as you're making these drives, right? Did you ever think like, hey, let's just hook up a couple little tow hitches, let's just toss a rope and just have them
and then the DOT shows up and they're like, we're gonna have a word with you.
Well, now look,
rope hold it. You know?
Some people that ride the bus frequent, they'll go to the service center. And they'll add these little yellow, like if you look at certain people when you're walking like on the streets, you'll see that they have these yellow little hooks on their thing. It's not hooks, it's like little loop arounds. That's to make it easier for us to have somewhere to anchor. So it's easier to tie it down. You know what I mean? Because if they don't got that, then you got to tie it to the actual wheelchair. You know what I mean?
Dang, so you got repeat offenders of things. Just
Yeah.
So going back real quick before we jump into this lead masks case. So they charged him.
Yeah, they charged
But
David.
you're saying he didn't do it, but he was an accomplice.
It's a lot of dark shit.
It's giving sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, it's a lot of dark shit that goes on with that David thing. Like during her autopsy, she's missing one of her eyes. She has 2 of her fingers on her left side. She's missing her left eye, 2 of her left fingers, pinky finger, ring finger, very, very spiritual. That's why we pinky promise. And she was stabbed in her liver and on the left side of her chest. And yeah, he dismembered some of her. It was crazy, right? But I don't believe he did this.
He just let it happen.
He led her to her demise because it's like the reason why they said his motive is that she was going to expose that he was going with her because she's a minor, but it was never a secret.
Right.
It was never a secret at all. Everybody knew that little girl was a minor and that she was dating this 20-year-old man. So when I say it's given that this was I don't know. I don't like sounding like the conspiracy theorist, but yes, I do. Who am I fucking kidding?
Well, yes,
Who am I kidding? So whenever we did our reading back in like November or October, I think it was October or November, it surprised me because I'm like, this dude is guilty as hell. Yeah, he is guilty, but it's not in the way that everybody thinks. And
guilty.
I hope that the prosecution's their case is airtight, like airtight where a fart couldn't even get in, like because
as tight of a ship as Mr. Fresh ran that bus.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They got to stand on business and they better have all the evidence because, and then they're saying like they found 40 terabytes of child porn on his stuff or something like that.
That's wild.
It's just very weird.
Did y'all see at Coachella, somebody took the plane and they wrote Celeste is a liar in the air like a couple of days
with like
after.
the smoke, with the cloud?
Mm-hmm. It's, I don't know. Something is just stank about this whole case. I don't know. Something is going to happen, but I hope his ass go down because he shouldn't have been messing with that little girl, and he's the reason behind all of this. He's the reason for sure.
Speaking of child porn, so have y'all heard about the new reports that Diddy is supposed to be getting out soon? Like
no, it's
they're appealing it.
He's going to.
Well, they're appealing it, but that doesn't mean he's going to get out.
Well, basically what they're saying is the reason he was in for so long is because he had two acts at a man charge. Which I don't know how it correlates. I don't know all of the details. Like I was listening briefly, and he was only responsible for one of the two things. Like, he wasn't doing it for solicitation of.
Oh, yes, he was.
He was doing it for. They're basically making it seem like he was doing it so that he could film home movies for himself.
I mean, but
because they were wearing they were hired to wear costumes and like.
So the problem is, now that I've worked with lawyers so much, it's going to be really hard to get a jury for that again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because they may not open it up because of that fact that they know they can't.
They shouldn't.
They're going to get an impartial jury.
The jury already knows the details of the case. It would be stupid to put a jury in there.
He has a path. He has a legitimate path.
The spooner? Carving them up.
Yeah, and like
he's always had. I'm going to be honest. He's always had a legitimate path. Mm-hmm. Baby oil makes things very easy.
Through the fucking plumbing system, just come out the other side.
These people like Diddy, people like Jay-Z, people like DV4D, they have very, very dark spirits, and for some reason, these type of people go under the radar for a long time. Not so much Dave because he's an idiot, but the Diddy's and everything else, I never thought that he was going to stay in there very long. I knew he was going to get out. I felt like they put him in there as an example because the public would have been outraged if they hadn't did anything, but I don't think he's going to be in there very long. And that's why I said I hope with DV4D that they really do a big one and make sure he gets convicted. Because even though I don't think he did that, I really, really, really hope he gets charged for it.
And unfortunately, the people that are still doing this will never know.
Mm-hmm. It never ends.
It never ends. Well, no, it never ends when stealing from the rich makes you profitable and stealing from the wealthy makes you a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Well, have you guys heard of the lead masks case from 1966?
I have not. I was born in 91. Mm-hmm.
All right, fair then. Mr. Fresh, what about you? You were born a little before that, before 1991.
But you said it was from 66.
Yeah, but doesn't mean...
Yeah, you were born in 1801. You definitely heard of this case.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay. Few cases are as compact but as baffling as this one. Two men go up a hill in Brazil with cash, identical suits, and strange instructions. Mm-hmm. They're later found dead, laying side by side, wearing hand-cut lead eye masks. There are no signs of violence, no confirmed poison, and no definitive explanation for why they died.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over the core facts. Date that the bodies were found was August 20th, 1966. Location was Morro de Vintem, which is in Brazil. So they were found in Brazil. Mm-hmm. Victims were Miguel and I'm just going to say Manuel, George. Miguel was 34. Manuel was 32. Occupation was electronics/TV repair technicians from Campos. They were basically engineers and retellings.
All right.
So key items that were found on them were 2 lead eye masks, no lenses shaped to cover the eyes, a notebook with a cryptic note, a water bottle, cash that was unspent, and no obvious murder weapon with no signs of struggle. Mm-hmm. So let's go over the day they left. August 17th, 1966. Vienna and De Cruz tell their families they're traveling to this specific region that they were later found to buy electronic parts. Mm. Important details are they bring a significant amount of cash for the time. Mm. They dress in formal suits despite the heat. This is August in Brazil.
Yeah.
They tell relatives they'll be back soon. This looks like a normal business trip until the timeline starts to break. So their arrival in the location, when they arrive, they purchase a raincoat despite clear weather. They buy a bottle of water, and they are seen asking for directions to Morro do Vintem, which is the mountain they were found. Mm. Witness accounts say the men seemed calm, not distressed, not intoxicated, and not being followed. They intentionally headed toward the hill. Mm. Last confirmed sighting was a waitress later reports seeing the men sitting quietly, wearing their formal clothing and carrying their items. They eventually make their way up the hill. After that, no more confirmed sightings. Now let's get to the discovery of the bodies on August 20th, 1966. 3 days later, a boy flying a kite discovers 2 bodies on the hillside. Police arrive. What they find is what makes this case infamous. The 2 men are lying side by side, still dressed in suits, wearing lead eye masks. There are no signs of struggle, no defensive wounds, no visible trauma, and no evidence of robbery. The bodies appear positioned and not chaotic, almost intentional. Mm. So the lead masks, this is the most iconic detail, are made from cut sheets of lead, roughly shaped to fit over the eyes, have no holes for vision, do not function like goggles. It's more of a blindfold made out of lead.
I was gonna say like a blindfold.
It's got to be heavy.
Yeah,
right. Like
they would block vision and possibly shield the eyes from light or radiation. Let's think about, just keep in the back of your head radiation.
Oh, I like
They are
that.
not random. They were clearly made for a purpose.
like
They aren't. They're machined.
wait, say that again about radiation.
So the reason why you would have that, like when you go to the dentist, you wear a lead vest, is to prevent radiation.
Okay.
So just keep that in the back of your head, at least for my theory. The note that they had on them, so inside the notebook found at the scene was a handwritten message. It said 1630, be at the specified place. 1830, swallow capsules. After effect, protect metals, wait for mask signal.
That was a journal?
Yeah, that was the note that they had on them.
Let's run that back one more time.
1630, so the time 1630.
1630. Okay.
Be at the specified place.
Yes. Okay.
1830, swallow capsules. After effect, protect metals, wait for mask signal.
What the fuck
Yeah.
were they out there
This
doing?
is one of the most analyzed notes in true crime. Important observations are it reads like instructions,
Yes.
not a diary.
Yes.
It references capsules that were never found. It references protect metals, and it references a mask signal. This suggests that the men were actually following a plan the entire time.
Yes.
So let's go over the autopsy. Here's where the case becomes even more frustrating. Autopsy's results, no visible trauma, no clear cause of death. Toxicology was inconclusive due to decomposition. Because of environmental conditions, investigators could not definitively determine poison, drug ingestion, or internal failure. So officially, the cause of death was unknown.
So nothing in their stomach.
The pill.
Nothing in their stomach or anything.
But because of decomposition, it was 3 days in the Brazilian heat.
Okay.
So the missing piece, the note says swallow capsules, but no capsules were found, no container was found, no chemical trace was confirmed.
Right, which means, I mean, but it says wait for mask to give you instructions or whatever.
It says wait for mask signal at the end.
Right.
So it says take the pill, wait for after the effects,
Right,
wait
so
for
they
mask
took
signal.
they took the pills, they laid down, they put
And
the goggles on. That's
and
the
was
mask.
expecting to see something within these goggles.
Yeah,
So,
Well,
so
this
they
one
took
is-
some type of radiation pill.
potentially, because I don't think the lead eye masks would have done anything if you're taking a radiation pill.
This one is probably the oddest
So
that we've had.
either the capsules were consumed completely or removed or never existed to begin with. So let's go into the police investigation. The police quickly realized that this was not a typical homicide. The men were not robbed. They were not attacked. They did not appear to fight. Their actions looked very deliberate and intentional. Investigators traced their background and things got even stranger. So with the men's background, Viana and De Cruz were involved in electronics repair, amateur radio, and technical hobbies. But more importantly, they had connections to spiritualist groups. In 1960s Brazil, spiritualism, especially involving communication with spirits, psychic experiments, and energy contact was relatively common. Some investigators believe the men were experimenting with something.
Yes, precisely.
Now let's go into some of the theories. Theory 1 is self-induced experiment / ritual, which is the most discussed. The leading theory is that the men were participating in some kind of spiritual or scientific experiment. Possibilities are attempting to contact spirits, attempting altered consciousness, attempting energy or light exposure. How the evidence fits is the note reads like instructions. The masks may have been meant to protect eyes from light. The capsules may have been drugs. What could have happened is they consumed something, waited for an effect, and then died.
Yeah.
Theory 2 is poisoning / drug overdose. The capsules may have contained a toxic substance, hallucinogens, experimental chemicals. The problem, though, is there's no confirmed toxicology and no containers found. Still, this is one of the most grounded explanations.
Yeah. I think
Theory
there's a
3,
mixture.
and this one is mine. UFO / extraterrestrial contact. It's fringe, but it's popular. This case became heavily linked to UFO culture. Why? Because Brazil had a wave of UFO sightings in the 60s. The note mentions a signal. The masks resemble protective gear. Now, a radiation pill, the masks wouldn't have done anything. But there have been traces of radiation found where UFOs have been sighted or landings or anything like that. It's usually very radioactive. Some believe they were expecting contact with something not human. There is no hard evidence, but culturally, this theory stuck based on the amount of sightings in the 60s in Brazil. So theory 4 is electromagnetic radiation exposure. The masks may have been designed to block radiation, shield eyes from intense light. This aligns with protect metals and mask signal that was found in the note. But again, no radiation evidence was confirmed. So the ground around them wasn't radiated.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird thing. Theory 5 is murder disguised as ritual. This is the last theory that people talk about.
No.
Some speculate a third party was involved. This scene was staged and the capsules were administered externally. The problems were no struggle, no missing valuables, no clear suspect. This theory is weaker, but is still discussed amongst groups. So what is certain is that the men traveled intentionally to the hill. They brought materials with a purpose. They followed written instructions. They wore lead masks. They died without visible trauma. No cause of death was confirmed. What remains unsolved is what the capsules were, what the mask signal meant, what they needed eye protection, or why they needed eye protection, whether they expected to survive, and whether anyone else was involved. Why this case is so unsettling is there isn't chaos. There isn't any panic. There's structure, planning, instructions, execution, and then death. Mm-hmm. It feels like you're missing one page of a manual.
Yes.
And that missing page explains everything.
Because this is weird.
Yeah.
This is probably the weird. Good job, friend. This is the weirdest because
I remember hearing about this one years ago. So how do you guys feel?
There's so many. Okay.
I feel like it's a mixture of the first three options.
I think it's a mixture because I do think that UFOs to some extent are spiritual.
They are.
And so I think that, but I think that they are able to travel here. It is extraterrestrial, but you have to be able to see their wavelength. You have to be able to see their frequency range, like what Andrew was talking about when we interviewed him a few months ago. I think that potentially they were trying to make contact with extraterrestrials, but the way you do it is you have to take this hallucinogen, if we want to call it that, for basic terms, and it puts you in a different frequency, but you still have to protect your eyes from the lead or from the radiation.
I just got questions. Like, okay. I'm going to ask them all at one time so it could give us more to ponder about. Number one, if they're trying to contact aliens or spirits, why would dress up and wear suits to do it? Why take a bag full of cash?
Offerings.
This is just very, very.
Not a bag full of cash though. And my thing is, if you're going to meet an alien, I'm not going to wear a fucking suit.
What if? Okay, so what?
Well, this is the '60s.
This is the '60s. What if they were men in black?
You know what?
No, seriously, secretly, and then they bring the cash because they're dropping off an envoy, a entity that's going to live here, and they're getting them set up.
Yeah.
But what if they absorb their life force?
I have no idea.
And they're like, I have money.
It definitely feels like they were trying to experience some type of altered state. The directions. I do believe that they took a capsule.
Yes.
Now, I will say this. It was a lot of religious groups back then and spiritual groups. And who knows? They could have gave them something to try to get to this altered state. And it was poisonous to them and it killed them on accident. I'm not sure about why they would carry so much cash. I don't know if maybe they met somebody, they gave them the pills, and they were supposed to pay them for said altered state and had all this money. And then once the person who they met realized, oh my God, I accidentally killed them, they panicked and left and didn't take the money.
So the amount of money that they carried with them was in USD in 1966, it was $68, which is equivalent to $500 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they carried $500 cash with them, which I guess at that point in time in Brazil was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's giving that this is spiritual for sure, but I feel like someone was proctoring this in panic and didn't take the money.
So if it was spiritual, go ahead.
I was because like the radio communication thing interests me because I also feel like this could have been two people that were manipulated into doing something.
Because what if they were like in a cult and they were like, you need to go do this?
The killer's like a fake alien and is like communicating to them and says, go to this location, put the goggles on, and then, I don't know, chloroform. I was thinking chloroform.
But that just knocks you out.
A double chloroform.
But then it would have came back on the toxicology.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, this is very
but
weird.
The capsules never showed up on anything. Like
no, but the thing is like the toxicology becomes a point of contention because they were decaying for 3 days in the Brazilian heat.
Right, so the chloroform probably wouldn't have came up.
Well, I don't even think it's chloroform. I don't know. I feel like it was some type of poison. And you guys have to remember back then, even though it's more, up to date than some of the other cases we covered, technology was not as good. You know, there are things that, like, what's that stuff that the angry wives be poisoning their husband with? It's not, is it
arsenic?
Yeah. It only, like, it's in your hair. That's how they test it. Now they probably tested what it can come up in your blood, but for a long time, people would go sick and they couldn't figure out why, and they were being poisoned because it's in your hair. So who knows? It could have been that they took a large amount of it in pill form and it killed them. And back then, they wouldn't have had the technology that they have now to test for it.
Yeah, or like nowadays, I think with Decayed, you can still get, but back then in the 60s, they probably they probably looked at it and went,
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
They speak Portuguese, but
yeah, I definitely think they were manipulated. I do believe that they were trying to experience something spiritual.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Why the rain jacket?
Why the what?
Why the raincoat in the middle of Brazil in the summer?
It's just very weird.
See, some of these things are things like, where were you planning on going where you needed one rain jacket and it's two of y'all?
And one water bottle.
Damn, it does sound hella sus. Like, my first initial thought, like, gross, George is just a sexual pervert thought.
They're running away.
They're into, like, water play, like peeing on each other.
Really?
But only one of them, so he has to stay hydrated.
Poncho. Because you both wouldn't be able to pee on each other at the same time.
I mean,
to be fair, we don't have an answer, so we can't throw it out.
Anything.
So one of my favorite, that's from Horrible Bosses, by the way. Horrible Bosses. He's like, you mean I came all this way and nobody wants to get pissed on?
No, but in reality, we just don't know. Because why do you have one bottle of water, one raincoat? Somebody could have gotten.
And here's the thing: is all the cash was still there,
right?
So if they were murdered, they did, and it was for the cash.
They weren't murdered.
No, I think it was self-inflicted.
You think,
it was the pill.
I feel like it was on accident too, though.
Or the aliens killed him, but they just killed him in a way that we'll never be able to detect.
Aliens don't kill people.
But if the aliens killed them, then you would have seen radiation around. You said there was no radiation.
Well, that's the theory.
I remember in the Cold War, the CIA came up with a heart attack gun that you could just point it at somebody, it would put them into cardiac arrest. Mm-hmm. What if the aliens had like something crazy? Like, not saying that they do kill people, but like, what if they threatened them?
My thing is, what do
they bought the cash?
What do the aliens gain? Was it an alien drug deal gone bad?
Oh no! You know, here's the funnier thing. Here's the funny thing. They were trying to lowball the alien on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
For the spaceship. And they said 20
you
quadrillion.
You said $75 and you only came with 68.
And they were like, yeah, bro, take it. And they went, no. And then they just both fucking collapsed.
No, but the way the bodies were intentionally positioned, I feel like they did this to themselves. But I truly do believe that they were meeting someone. I
don't think they thought they would have died.
No.
I think they knew that they probably could have, but I don't think that was their goal. I don't think they did like a suicide path.
Who knows? They were into spiritualism, and spiritualism looked real weird in the 60s, especially, in different countries. And they could have known somebody that, they did this and they didn't die. They had a spiritual, like, experience.
Yeah.
Like whenever people take, is it not ashwagandha? What's the other one? Ayahuasca. It could have been something like that. Like they thought they were going to go on a spiritual trip.
They were going on a spiritual trip. They went up there. They took the 2 pills. They didn't know it was laced with fentanyl.
Pretty much.
Never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
The alien said, "Yo, we're trying out this new thing called Fentfold. Try this out.
It'll make you lean."
The people love this shit in Kensington.
No, I really do think that this was self-inflicted and it was on accident. I believe they met somebody up there. I don't think the raincoat in the water was for him.
What if the aliens were like, you need to bring us these specific items so we know you're you, and it's a fucking raincoat, $68 exact, and a fucking bottle of water?
That wouldn't be surprising at all.
I wonder when they found them, so the money was there, but did they still have the raincoat and a bottle of water?
Yeah, yes. I think so, because that's how they knew that they bought them. Mm-hmm. I
thought it was from the details.
I don't even think it's to be honest, I don't even think aliens has anything to do with it. I truly believe that they were meeting someone and they probably said, "Hey, I really need a raincoat," and maybe one of them was thirsty and could just share a bottle of water. I think that they were meeting somebody to buy these capsules.
Who walks up a mountain with one bottle of water?
David Goggins.
did in Thailand.
She don't walk to the car without making sure she got water.
Not in this
David
weather.
Goggins walks up he runs up the mountain 48 times. And then,
Who needs fucking water?
Who needs fucking water? Who's gonna
yeah.
carry the
Chop down
boat?
a tree
No.
if I need some water.
Down a tree.
Literally, I just think that they met somebody. And they accidentally fucked around and found out. And I feel like they was proctoring them through this, and they panicked whenever they seen that they weren't breathing anymore and ran off and never took the money.
Damn, so it's like a guided meditation.
Yeah.
But they were like, you have to hold your breath for 4 minutes.
Like guided meditation, I don't believe, because they said they were going up there to buy parts.
Well,
But-
that's what they normally did.
Right.
You know,
but
you gotta
this-
say, you know, if I'm gonna go buy something on Marketplace, I shouldn't be buying. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the studio real quick.
Right, exactly. They are not going to tell their people that
You know
they're going to
what?
buy capsules
Good night,
to
Jacinda.
fucking trip out on.
They went to talk to an alien about a horse.
But yeah, I feel like that's what happened. Poor guys. I know. Imagine you think you're about to have a spiritual awakening with your
And you
leg
wake up,
goggles,
"Oh, man."
and you wake up
When you wake
dead.
up
And you're like,
dead.
God damn it! I didn't mean that spiritual.
That's like
Fucking eyes are shut.
the
The
family-
idea was this lead mask.
Right. I wanted to talk to the ancestors, not become one.
That's
Right.
like the
No,
Family
for
Guy
real.
when they did the Star Wars trilogy, and at the end, Chris is Luke and Stewie is Darth Vader, and he tries to take his helmet off, but he can't, and he's like passed out, so he like tries to yank it and he kills him. And so he's like, oh fuck, and then at the end there's the Force Ghost and Stewie's there, but his neck's all fucked up, and he's like, what the hell, man, I was gonna make it.
I can assure you, I feel like it was something of the nature. But that one, somebody on my chat was like, the story's been told over and over again. I never heard the story a day in my life. So I was like, damn, that's a good one, like, because it truly is a mystery.
That one is like we have no, and it's not like they went out into the wilderness and they're all like fucking frozen and shit. It's like, no, it was 3 days,
Right.
and they presumably died the first day.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know,
Because
I think it
the
could.
body wouldn't have been that decomped if they would have died the day they were found.
Right. And that
Correct.
heat. And then the raincoat thing doesn't really surprise me anyway, because I mean, Brazil is tropical. It rains all the time in the summer. I really just believe they met somebody and that somebody was like, hey, can you give me a raincoat? And
Chad,
what
what
if
do y'all
it was
think?
$68 because say it was $70, but they had to use $2 for the raincoat.
Okay,
Bottle of
Maybe
water.
a bottle of water. Yeah.
good old inflation, man. What we used to have.
I'm trying to
raincoat
figure out
really
what
was
kind of
like-
computer parts was they allegedly buying for $70.
I mean, computer parts were expensive. Think about it now. You try to buy a graphics card, it's like $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Computer
What kind of
parts-
computers did they have back in the 60s?
They had like ones that were like the size of rooms.
Yes.
I was about to say, because
Because remember,
And I also think they're in Brazil. So
Yeah.
they're probably getting it imported too.
well, Hidden Figures goes on is in the 50s and 60s.
So-
and they used to use people as computers. Like remember Taraji P. Henson and other characters, they called them computers.
Yeah. The most basic computer in 1970 cost $99.50.
It was a lot of money back then.
$99.
For just a basic computer.
Okay. And they were in the industry of selling them.
Correct. They were in the industry of repairing and selling computers.
They also
Just-
were making
My
lead
thing
masks.
is, why tell? I don't know, man.
Why? What?
Why tell their family that they're going to go buy parts?
So they don't question anything.
Right.
Right, but what happens when you come home without parts?
I don't think they would have looked that far into it.
No, because they probably had like an office or like
Right,
a
and they do this all the time.
workspace. Yeah.
If I want to go do some,
Or you
some
come back
real
and you just
sus
go,
shit, and I don't want
Shit parts.
Yeah, I
Dude
didn't
want
buy
to
them.
deal with
Yeah,
me.
if I want to do some suspicious shit and I don't want to be questioned, I'm gonna tell somebody that I'm doing the most normalest shit that I would have done anyway, and go do it. You know, so I can believe that they weren't going up there to buy no damn parts.
Clearly they weren't because they died.
Yeah,
They died.
rest in peace.
Or what if they were like, what if they were legit going to go buy parts and they were like, bro, what if we go up to this scenic ass mountain and just pop this pill real quick? Think about it, George. You know, you do a little trip on your work trip.
So they thought it was. They was acting like it was Joshua Tree.
Yeah. They're like, bro, what if
We're gonna go find ourselves.
we're gonna go find ourselves?
Middle of the freaking jungle, dude. I'm gonna freaking grab my raincoat because we're gonna trip balls on these psychedelic pills.
I'm gonna
And that
piss
could
all over
be-
myself.
That could be
Just
a thing.
Make sure you
just
dress in
because-
your suit, bro.
Yeah, it definitely.
That's
could
how
be.
people in Brazil sounded back then.
Or what if they were like gonna go like make a deal with like a big manufacturer or something, and so they had to dress in suits, and they were like, we gotta calm our nerves. Let's take this fucking.
What if they dressed in suits and the
But
alien
why
was like in a wife
the
beater?
goggles is what's throwing me. Like,
Because it was hot. It was fast fashion.
but they can see, right?
No, they couldn't.
It was
Right.
like very Zoolander of them.
Bro, just put this on, dude. Dude, it enhances your trip, dude.
Yeah, no, it definitely. It's weird. I never heard of the case. I never heard of the case, and yeah, that shit's weird. It's weird.
Wow.
Well, thank you for joining me on this journey of the lead masks case. I know we got to kind of wrap it up here in a
course.
minute,
We have
but
to make some lead masks.
we got to make some lead. We could probably make them back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the damn metal and everything else.
Yeah,
that's
just
in that.
crimp it.
Since I was discouraged about my mask that I was trying to get made, you know.
What mask? Boy, I don't give a damn what you be doing. What mask you talking about? Which one?
His luchador mask.
I'm about to have somebody knit me a shiesty, so I mean, I can't really.
Knit you a.
It's a, did y'all see the YN? Well, young knitter. The young knitter on TikTok, he be knitting shiesties. I'm trying to buy you one.
Ah, what a great way to capitalize.
It's like pink and shit. You're like, that's cute.
It's so cutesy. No, the knitters on TikTok. Shout out to my knitters because they be so creative. I seen somebody make a knitted wig on top of a shiesty. It was just that. It was.
I would want one that's like a shiesty, but it has like the like predator dreads on it.
Oh man.
That would be sick.
I would love. Listen, I need to know. I got to get a hobby. We were talking about hobbies before we got on live, and I feel like I would like to take up knitting. I feel like I could do that because I used to make those. Do you guys remember those one? No, you will because you're.
Wow.
Sorry.
She said he was around before they had knitting.
Right. No, but do you remember the girls back in the day used to make those keychains with that hard plastic string? I imagine knitting, I imagine knitting
It's
being like that.
It's like the one side you loop it, and then the other side you like interweave it, and then you pull out for it. Yeah,
You guys remember
that.
the like.
And I never
and you
could.
get your the fortune teller.
Oh
No,
yes.
yeah, that's how you used to find out if you was supposed to go on a date with that girl or not.
Two.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yes.
But my favorite one is the guy was like, how it's like to do taxes. It's like, how much did you make last year? 20,000. Do you have a 401k? I don't think I do. And he goes. Yes. And he goes, do you have any kids? And he goes, no.
Listen, those things used to make life decisions for us.
No, for real.
It was.
It was Zoltar before Zoltar.
Zoltar.
It was the paper Zoltar, dude.
And you know the one I like is
tell
there was
you
another
your
meme where they're
fortune.
like, everybody's asking ChatGPT. I'm asking my fucking lucky 8-ball.
Right. Should I go out tonight? Yep. So it always changes over time, but I do need a hobby, and I think I'm going to start knitting so I can knit me a shiesty.
She needs a hobby so
I
she
do.
can stay off of Amazon
Yeah.
and
Vane-
TikTok shop.
Vanessa's robot with Whatnot. I'm gonna have to ban Whatnot.
What is whatnot?
Don't.
It's like
Excuse me, sir.
No. I'm helping you out here, Mr.
No.
Fresh.
You're not. Listen.
Whatnot?
There's 15 packages on my porch every fucking day.
Oh, you two? I'm living in the same world.
Do you have the
bro.
USPS email
Doesn't even
tracking?
open them. I bring them in. Doesn't even open them. Like we're a fucking packing
Bro.
facility.
No,
Bro.
that's
Speaking
Like,
of
we're a
packing facility,
packing
I finally
facility.
sold my first fucking item on eBay this morning.
Shout out.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
So I'm trying to
It's
get
a real business now.
Well, I mean, the antique mall side is making
Okay.
it's paying for itself already, so we're
Okay.
doing good there.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna
And then
download this.
I buy cameras. I buy old film cameras. Those move. What's been moving though, like I don't even have them for more than a day's old digital cameras from like the 2000s. I get it. I buy a new battery for it. I pop it in there. It works. Okay, just make sure it functions. I listed on Marketplace for like $100. Gone within 2 hours.
Crazy.
Crazy. And I'm buying them at Broad Acres for like.
Right. But it's worth it. What do you spend? Like maybe
Yeah, but if you're
$15, $20?
$40 in.
We'll
I
go to
mean,
the swap meet and I'll drop like $200 and I'll flip it for like $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's good profit, right?
See, that's
there.
bad for me too. Is I'll go and I'll get cash only, so I can limit myself, and I'll come back and I'll be like, I got $8. Spent 200 at Broad Acres, but I mean it's going good. But do you have the USPS email?
Like the informed delivery?
Yeah. Every morning, whatnot.
Oh my goodness.
One more nostalgic thing that we used to do back in the day: play paper football.
With the
Paper football.
Or pencil fights.
It was so annoying. It was always
Did
the
you
boys
just play
that
Bloody
do
Knuckles?
Nah, I just played pencil fights.
Oh, bro, the Bloody Knuckles was awful.
Yeah.
Or no, what was it called? Bloody Knuckles? It was the one where you would just take the quarter and look at
Bro, we called it quarters.
right into their fucking knuckle. George was there. We sat at the same table
Oh
sometimes.
no, we used to gamble like that though. We used to pitch quarters into the crack of the wall. See who could get closer to the wall.
Okay.
Person to get closest to the wall won $1.
Yeah, no. See, for us, we were
inflicting
had this kid,
pain
George.
on each
I don't know if
other.
you remember this. He was a redheaded kid named Devin in middle school, and we would just see what he would snort. Like we would get, and I bet you wouldn't snort this talkie dust, and he'd do it. And he would,
Jesus
he'd be in
Christ.
the next class, like just fucking. And then he did like that was back when
Boys
they,
are so weird.
that was when they had the.
Don't do
the
that, kids. That's how redheads are made.
My mom is a redhead, kind of, but he would like, and we would just like, and he was like, I don't know if he just didn't eat at home, but like we'd be like, hey, I'll give you this chocolate milk if you snort the like Skittle fucking sugar, because we had the ones that were like caked in
Jesus.
sugar, and he would fucking snort it.
Austin, he was trying to fit in, bro. It's not that he wasn't fed at home. He was fat.
He has brain damage now because you guys bullied him.
I mean, it was kicking in before.
Right.
It was kicking in before we left middle school. To be so real with you.
Yeah.
Middle school, make it or break it these days for these kids, huh?
Oh yeah.
Man.
These days, that was like 15 years ago for us, dude. What are you talking
Literally,
about?
middle school is the
Middle
worst.
schoolers suck.
Oh, speaking of
I
school, George.
I'm gonna homeschool my kids when they get to middle school because they're
fuck that.
shitheads. I did
Yeah.
it twice. My son was okay. My daughter struggled a lot in middle school, and I promise you, Tootie and Flash will be at home with moi for middle school.
No, I don't think.
I'm really.
Tootie like to fight. I think Tootie will be fine. Tootie will be fine.
So, speaking of high school, George, when do you get nominated for the Cheyenne High School Sports Hall of Fame?
I don't know, bro. I'm trying to figure it out. I saw it on Facebook the other day that there's even
We
such
saw
a
the
thing.
same post. Ashton shared it.
Oh,
So you about to get
they have a Hall
nominated?
of Fame.
Apparently-
I said,
Cheyenne High School
I
is a
said
fu-
if I'm not first ballot, I don't want it. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't want it. If it's not first
Not
ballot, I
George
don't want it.
turning away the Hall of Fame. Like,
It's
second
Cheyenne
choice.
High School Hall of Fame. Like, let's be
Chill.
real here.
There's one Hall of Fame I want to be in. It's the Sports Gambling Hall of Fame at the Circa.
Oh wow, they have that.
Classic room.
Classic room.
George is gonna be like, "Don't you know who I am, right? My brother's in the fucking NFL, dude. Like,
No,
you can't.
no.
I'm first
It's not
ballot."
about him. It's my resume fucking
No,
spoke
he's
for
impressive.
itself.
What about
No,
that
I'm about
15?
to
What
give
about
him
this
the
2015, 2016
Sunset
year?
Division 1A defensive MVP.
No, you know what I'm gonna do? Whenever football season comes back
what it was.
around, I'm just gonna give him my money and tell him to just bet the way he would bet for himself.
I'll do it.
Because he's
Proxy
he's
bet?
real good.
Do you
No,
want
see-
high risk, high reward, or do you want stable?
High risk. I'm a gambler.
High
George and I
risk.
fucked
Oh,
up.
all right.
George
We're
and I
putting in
fucked up.
anytime touchdown.
George and I
parlay
fucked
still
up, and
hit.
we went high risk on my client, and we both lost $50.
Listen,
It's cool. I bet.
Yeah, by the
I
way,
bet $20 that the Steelers will make
fucking
it to the Super Bowl this
Fuck you.
Fuck me. Hey, I'm cursed.
Austin texts me an hour before his client is in Power Slap and says, "Hey, can you put this bet in for me?" So I'm not going to put a bet in on my account, watch it hit, and send off money that I don't put in myself. Like, I'm going to put in the bet. So I put in $50.
And so I said, okay, well, I'll
She
put
gets-
in 50.
Loses 30-27, bro.
30, she gets 30, 20.
30-20. Didn't win a round.
I love her, though. She's a dog. She's a dog. She's out there and
Didn't
ate
win a
them shits.
round.
yeah, listen, I'm the type of girl, I be betting $10 on slot machines. I like big rewards.
Like
so.
$10
Oh,
a hand.
we played Bung Shao Zoo. Bung Shu
year. The little
Zhou.
firecracker joint.
Yeah, with the fireworks.
With
Yeah.
the firecrackers,
yeah. And so this other day, we hit all three
Oh, I love when it's
and
all
a
three.
fourth one.
Uh-huh.
Not at the same time. We hit them like independently.
Cracker.
Yep.
See, last time I
telling you.
gambled
Racked it up,
was
bro.
when I stayed
Racked it
we
up.
had the big event in Good Springs in November, and I stayed at Prim because I was like, I got to be there the whole time, and they gave me like $10 in free play.
Yeah, they
So,
always.
so I
that's
put in.
the-
I put in. You have to put in
You
$10.
probably lost that 10 and quit. Or no, you made money off the 10 and then you quit.
No, I made the money and then I was like, fuck it though. Like I'm just gonna.
Right.
And I lost it. But I was like, all right, I'm out $10. Okay.
Yeah, no, gambling is one
They
of my
gave me the
favorite
shitty little shirt
pastimes
that
because
died
whenever
once in
you
the washer.
win, you win. You win because you bet big, you win big. But because you're betting big, you can lose big
You
too.
lose big. And then I was
You
like,
can't go in there with no scared money. Scared money don't make no money.
I see. And I was telling Vanessa, I was like, what if I came back and I was like, they got the car.
Wait a
They got the
minute.
car. How do you even bet the car? Like, do you like? Because I always saw that
Listen.
as a joke on like The Simpsons and shit. Like, do you just go to the casino and be like, I'll sell my car right now?
Well, back then, I believe back in the day,
Like the
you
80s and 90s?
Yeah, it was some
Well, back in the
sketchy
day,
shit.
it was more mob shit going on.
So that yes, you had a guy and he was the book.
Listen,
and he could just be like, I'll give you my
Tommy,
car.
Listen, I know you've lost on the Dodgers 4 weeks in a row. Your daughter is now going to have to sleep with me, and you bet your car.
daughter.
That's exactly
Hey,
how
that's
it
how it
used
used
to
to
go.
be.
It was, yeah, but
Boom, bada bing, your car's mine. That's how it went.
Speaking in that accent, we're going to New York in a couple weeks. So
yeah, for
Coffee.
his birthday. It's a short
Gonna
trip,
have a
turnaround
coffee.
What are we
trip.
doing? What we doing?
Well, I'm going to go see Meg Thee Stallion, her last show on Broadway, Moulin Rouge, and then he gets to explore the city and do whatever he wants to do.
You gonna get some heat for cheap while we out there?
I'm gonna try. I don't know. It's for real for us my birthday trip, but she kind of just hijacked it and was like,
I didn't hijack shit. I was going to go see Meg Thee Stallion.
No, she said it's our birthday trip.
Right.
Well,
I know how
anything
you
that
are
we
on
do
birthdays.
is our, but one evening dedicated to. Did you think I was gonna go to New York and not go see her?
listen.
Are we well? You know, I love me some.
Well, you know what? We could go back. We could go back in July, so we could go to the Jay Z
I'm not gonna
concert.
New York.
The scenery there at a Meg Thee Stallion concert.
Oh my God, yes, and it's Moulin Rouge.
But this
It's
is this
Moulin Rouge,
is
so
this
it's
is Broadway.
yeah,
So it's a little more classy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
A little
basically,
more Deborah-y.
she's
I like
filling
it. A
in
little more reserved.
as
Leaves
Zidler.
more for the imagination.
Yeah, no. So obviously, Moulin Rouge is a burlesque
Right.
show. So she's the first female Zidler. You know, the black dude usually
yeah.
plays Zidler, but this is her last show, and I know she's gonna perform because she performed at the first one, or she may
She might
even
like
bring
throw ass
somebody
the whole time.
Yes, I'm excited.
Can you imagine? She just goes out there, minute 1,
Yeah, listen, and we still with mine.
minute 48, the
Yeah.
same thing, bro.
It's the same
But-
thing, and and then it ends, and everyone just stands up.
Bro,
Yes, that's essentially what it was, though. If you go on TikTok, so. But yeah, we're gonna go to New York, and it'll be fun and all the other stuff. And because I do have to tinkle, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you
Oh,
end the
this
show.
is it.
But I am
Take us
thinking
home.
I'm trying to work out a retreat here in Las Vegas
Sheesh.
in September. Okay, because I know some people they don't go out the country, and I know some people just right now travel. We are still going to Egypt in November, but of course traveling right now some people don't feel comfortable,
So then, can I announce this then? When she does it, we're gonna offer up 2 mega VIP packages, and 2 people can get it, and then you guys can hang out here with us when we record.
yeah, that and
Mega VIP.
maybe we'll take them to Good Springs.
We can do a private
Yeah,
evening at Good Springs.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could do that as one of the.
we could do that. We could do a small ghost hunt group at Good
Yes.
Springs for
yeah.
that.
So it's really a spiritual retreat, but it's like a spiritual turn up. It will still be some
We getting haunted
some
in this
stuff,
motherfucker.
but it's almost like a workshop, a week of workshops, 6 days of workshops, where I teach you how to make different cleanses, washes, mix different herbs, things like that. So it's gonna be super fun. So just make sure y'all just stay tuned. Make sure your notification bells are on, because Egypt, yes, that's still happening, but we needed something domestic, stateside, for the people that don't want to travel or
Yeah.
can't travel. So,
And then
it
maybe
will be
y'all
super
can-
luxury.
Hang with us. Come.
It'll be
come.
super luxe. So just make sure y'all are on the lookout for that.
Third round of the Dolphins. Team C? Who's Team C? Says third round of the. Who's going third round of the Dolphins? Junior? Hey, I'm just reading a comment. They said third round of the Dolphins.
well, it hasn't started yet.
Yeah, I say third round is like tonight, right? Like
Yeah.
late tonight.
Yeah.
Like ending. So, because like I was explaining to Vanessa, the later rounds they don't do the whole like interview and everything. Most of them are home, right? They really only fly out like the first round people, right?
Yeah.
Do they still announce it?
Yeah,
I think
still
only
announce it.
17 people got invited to the actual.
Oh, because I noticed that there was some people like that got picked like round like 5th pick and they weren't there.
Yeah.
All right, peeps. We're gonna bounce.
All right.
All right, y'all. Third round of the Dolphins. Team C's calling it now. I'm gonna say Junior to the Chargers. Round 3.
Bye. 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 Bye.